Good evening, Helen and Jack. Hi, Jack. Hope you're both well. Still got a couple of minutes before we start. If you would like to grab a strap, feel free to have that next to your mat for the practice tonight, but you don't necessarily need any props. So just take these first few moments to gather what you need. And we might start this evening's session reclining. So if you'd like to, you can lie down, but of course you can always stay seated if you prefer. But otherwise, lying down, you can have the feet stepped up close to the buttocks or stretch the legs out along the mat. You might like to cover yourselves with a blanket to begin. And perhaps exhaling the breath out through the mouth 2 or 3 times, letting go of your day so far. And just taking some time to bring your full attention to this present moment. And we might start the practice tonight by bringing as much tension into the body as we can on the inhale. So when you're ready, inhale and making fists with the hands, scrunching up the toes, clench the teeth, the face, the buttocks, the chest, and then let all of that tension go as you exhale. Good evening, Kathy. If you've got a strap, you might like to have that next to your mat for the practice tonight. And if you're comfortable, we'll start in a recline position. So just lying down, make sure that you're warm. And we're just starting off by tensing the body as much as we can as we breathe in, holding that tension, and then letting it all go as we exhale. So just work with this 3 or 4 times. And then when you've had enough of that, we're going to work with a few cannon breaths. So with this breath, we're going to take little sips of air, and then we'll let the breath come rushing out of the mouth like a cannon going off. So when you're ready, you can start to breathe in just a little bit and then pause, and then a little bit more and pause, a little bit more, pause. Keep inhaling until the lungs are completely full, pause, hold the breath, and then let the breath come rushing out through the mouth. So again, breathing in and pause, and inhale a little more, pause, a little more, pause, completely filling the lungs, hold full, and then let the breath come rushing out through the mouth. And just do this once more. Good evening, Kathy with a K, who's just joined. So if you've got a strap, Kathy, you might like to grab that. And we're just starting off in a recline position. So lying down and just allowing yourself to open to this moment from a fresh place. Anchoring your awareness in the here and now. And taking note of what you have brought with you to the mat this evening. Acknowledging that right now there is nothing to change, nothing to do, nothing to fix. I'd like to begin by sharing a poem with you from John O'Donoghue. I love to live like a river flows, carried by the surprise of its own unfolding. I love to live like a river flows, carried by the surprise of its own unfolding. So begin now to invite the breath into your body, into your mind, into your practice. Feeling the soft, gentle inhale as the breath flows in through both nostrils, and the soft, gentle exhalation as the breath flows out through both nostrils. And noticing any resistance to breathing, to allowing life to flow in and flow out. What does the breath have to tell you this evening? Does your breath have a message for you? So in our practice tonight, we're going to concentrate quite a lot on our breath, thinking of our breath as a river of energy, life force, and allowing this river to flow freely through our entire being. Energy won't flow, though, in a tense body. So we need to relax the body. In order for prana to flow, the body must be relaxed. So we're going to work now with the full yoga breath. We haven't done this for a very long time, and we're going to be breaking the breath into 3 parts. So if you're not lying down, you might like to come to lie down now. Feet can be stretched out straight or stepped up close to the buttocks. And you might like to begin by resting your hands over the belly. So this is the area we're going to breathe into first. So taking the breath right down into the bottom lobes of the lungs. So just relax your arms, relax your shoulders, relax the face. Exhale all breath. And then a long, smooth inhalation through the nose as you breathe right down into the belly. Perhaps feeling the belly lift and fill up with breath, lifting up towards the ceiling. And a long, smooth exhalation as the belly drops, belly button moves back towards your spine, emptying. So a long, smooth inhalation, filling the belly. And a long, smooth exhalation, belly drops. So let's continue with this. Work at your own pace with your own breath. Nice, full, deep, slow breathing. And as you're working with that, I'd like to share with you a passage from the yoga teacher Donna Farhi from her wonderful book, The Breathing Book. Our breath is constantly rising and falling, ebbing and flowing, entering and leaving our bodies. Full body breathing is an extraordinary symphony of both powerful and subtle movements that massage our internal organs, oscillate our joints, and alternately tone and release all the muscles in the body. It is a full participation in life. The fundamental nature of the breath is that, like life, it is constantly changing. The breath oscillates. It rocks us to and fro, fills and empties us, expands and condenses. One of the easiest ways to begin to perceive this natural flow of the breath is to learn to recognize the basic movements in the body that are present during breathing. Movement tells you where the breath is moving and where it is not. Recognizing these movements is the first step in getting to know your breath. All right, so after your next exhalation, we're going to move the hands to the second part, the second area now, which is the side rib cage area. So cupping the side ribs there. And again, just make sure that the arms, the shoulders are relaxed. You haven't started to tense the face or the mouth. And when you're ready, you can start to breathe now into this mid-rib cage area. So there's a feeling of the breath moving out towards the sides, filling the rib cage, expanding outward. And then on the exhalation, moving back in towards the center. So long, smooth inhalation, sending the breath into this mid-rib cage area. And a long, smooth exhalation as it moves back in to center. So work with your own breath in your own time. Allowing the breath to flow in and allowing the breath to flow out. Now a little bit more from Donna Fahy. When the challenges of life seem too great to handle, or things aren't going as smoothly as we planned, we may try to stop the natural flow of events by unconsciously restricting these movements. We stop our breath as a way of attempting to bring life under our command. Because there is such a strong tendency to restrict the movement of the breath, the second step in reclaiming the breath is to begin to notice how we are preventing the breath from entering and leaving the body. Neither step involves great effort or adding anything, but both require the cultivation of self-awareness or self-reflective consciousness. Let openness and patience be your guide. Instead of demanding results, inquire, feel, and sense. Okay, so after your next exhalation, release this and we move to the third area, which is the collarbones. So just resting the fingers or the hands lightly over your collarbones. So now it's quite a shallow breath, just breathing into this upper chest area. And let the exhalation come. Skin of the face soft. Breathing into this upper chest area, perhaps feeling the collarbones lift a little towards your throat. And exhale, let it relax. So just a couple more of these. And then releasing your arms down by your side. You might like to sigh the breath away. So now we're going to put those three stages together and work with our full yoga breath, perhaps also incorporating an arm movement. So on the inhale, you might raise the arms overhead, and on the exhalation, lower them back down. We're going to see if we can work with a breath ratio of 5-2, 5-2. So I'll count you for 3 rounds, and then you can do 3 more on your own. Just check that your head, neck, and spine are in a straight line, chin tucking forward, and then exhale all breath. So breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, pause, 2, Breathing out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause, empty. Inhaling, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause, 2. Exhaling, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause, empty. Breathing in, so filling the belly, then the mid-rib cage, then the upper chest. Pause, 2. Exhaling from the belly, mid-rib cage, upper chest. Pause, empty. So try 3 more rounds in your own time, seeing if you can work with that breath ratio, but of course you can modify if that's not quite right for you tonight. Listening to the sound of your breath. When you finish the 3 breaths, you'll just have your arms back down by your side. If your feet aren't stepped up close to the buttocks, please bring them up now. Feet are hip width apart. And we're going to keep trying to work with that breath through our practice tonight. And also every now and then that same breath ratio. So let's work now with bridge, a dynamic bridge. And we'll see if we can work with that 5-2-5-2 breath ratio. So let's exhale all breath, completely emptying the lungs. And then as we inhale, we start to lift the back and the arms. 3, 4, 5. Pause. 2. Exhale, lowering down. 3, 4, 5. Pause. Empty. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause, 2. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause, empty. Let's keep going. Breathing in. Pause, 2. Breathing out. Pause, empty. Inhaling. Pause, 2. Exhaling. Pause, empty. Work with 2 more of these. Count your own breath. When you finish, take a breath. You might sigh it away. And then we're going to draw the right knee in towards the chest, interlace the fingers around or under the knee, stretch the left leg along the mat. Now, still working with that breath ratio, we're going to raise and lower this left leg. So let's exhale all breath, pointing the left toes. And as we breathe in, we slowly start to raise this left leg up. 3, 4, 5. Pause. 2. Exhale, lowering the leg. 3, 4, 5. Pause, empty. Point the toes. Breathing in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause 2, flexing the foot. Exhaling 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause, empty. Inhaling. This time we're going to keep the leg in the air. So raising it up and flex the foot, and then just start to point and flex the foot, working into that left ankle and making some nice slow circles with the left foot. And reversing. And then we'll slowly lower that left leg down, pushing out through the heel. When the heel touches the mat, place your right foot on the left thigh. We're moving into a twist. Left hand to the outer edge of the knee, right arm at shoulder height. And as we exhale, we're carrying that knee across the body, relaxing that right shoulder. Head can either stay in a neutral position, or you might turn to look towards your right fingers. And just try to soften there. Let the breath flow. Face relaxed. Just listening to the sound of your breath. Good. Slowly come back to center. Give that right knee a bit of a hug. And then take the arms out to the side, keeping the right knee into the chest. And let's make some nice slow circles in the air with this right knee. Working into our right hip. And reversing. And bring it back to the center. Just give it a little bit of a hug, and then place that right foot close to the buttock. Bend the left leg, placing your left ankle on the right thigh. If your hips are quite tight, you'll hold it here with the left hand on the inner edge of the left knee. Otherwise, we're going to interlace the fingers under the right knee and draw that right knee in towards the chest, keeping the left foot flexed to protect the left knee. Tucking the chin forward and connecting with your breath. Good. Okay, let's gently release. Hug that left knee in now as you stretch the right leg away. So we're going to do the same sequence on the other side. Point your right toes. And when you're ready, we're going to work with that breath ratio. So breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause, 2. Breathing out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause, empty. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause, 2. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause, empty. This time we're holding the leg in the air, raising it up as you inhale, and then starting to point and flex that right foot. Noticing how this right ankle feels tonight, making some nice slow circles. Tuck the chin forward and reversing. Good, and then we'll lower that right leg down nice and slowly. Place the left foot on the right thigh, right hand to the outer edge of the left knee, left arm at shoulder height. As we exhale, carrying that knee across the body, just soften your left shoulder down. Head can either stay in a neutral position or turning to look towards your left fingers. And allowing the breath to flow here. Good. And then slowly come back to center. Give that left knee a hug. And then just take the arms out to the sides. And we're going to make some nice slow circles in the air with this left knee. Noticing how this left hip is feeling tonight. Sending the breath down into this part of the body and reversing. Good. And then bring it back to center, give it a hug, and then place that left foot on the mat close to the buttock. Bend the right leg. So your right ankle on the left thigh, either staying here or interlacing the fingers under the left knee, drawing that left knee in towards the chest, right foot flex to protect the right knee. And we're holding this stretch. Good. And gently release. Now give both knees a hug. You can either rock from side to side or work with happy baby, holding the outer edge of your lower legs or the outer edges of the feet. Knees are wide, back of the neck long, and holding for 2 or 3 breaths. Perhaps even rocking a little bit from side to side in happy baby. Good. And then we're going to roll over to one side and come into extended child. Okay, so extending the arms forward, fingers spread wide, middle fingers pointing straight ahead, your knees are wide, big toes are touching. Let's exhale all breath here. Let's try to come back to that breath ratio now as we move into cat. So breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, pause, 2, breathing out, back into child, 3, 4, 5, pause, empty. Inhale into cat, 3, 4, 5, pause, 2, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, pause, empty. Let's do 3 more of these. Just count your own breath. Allowing each breath to flow in and each breath to flow out. Might like to imagine that you're moving through water, so everything's slowing down.
When you finish that third one, just rest in child pose for one breath, and then we're going to lift up into down face dog pose. So when you're ready, there's no hurry. Coming up through cat, tuck your toes into Ardha Mukha Svanasana, down face dog pose. Now we can add a diagonal stretch here to begin. So you might like to bend the right leg, push back into the left foot, forward into the right palm, holding the stretch as you breathe. Good, and then we'll swap sides. So bend the left leg, pushing back into the right foot, forward into the left palm. Let the breath flow. Good, and then down face dog pose. From here, we might like to swivel our feet to the left. So your right big toe is directly behind your left heel, and hopefully feeling a lovely stretch into that left side of the body. So breathe into that space. And then we'll swivel the feet around to the right, sending the breath into the right side of the body. Good, back to center. And coming down onto your knees. And all the way back into extended child. And we'll take a breath or two here. Okay, let's work with our dynamic Parigasana gate pose. So we start off on all fours, knees are together. Have a look if you're not sure, but I think all of you will know this one. So we exhale all breath. As we breathe in nice and slowly, we're going to turn to the left, extend the left leg long, and take this left arm up. You can either look forward or up towards your left thumb. As we exhale, we come back to all fours, nice and slowly. And then we go to the other side, breathing in, right leg long, extend the right arm up, looking forward or up. Exhale, come back to all fours. Okay, so let's keep going. Inhale, opening up to the left. And exhale. Breathing in, opening up to the right. And exhale. This time we'll hold, so turning to the left. And you can either stay just as we are, or some of you might like to turn that left arm, extend the arm over your head, and perhaps even lifting that right leg up, flexing the left foot. And breathe. Perhaps a little smile on your lips. Good. And then you can carefully lower that left foot, carefully lower the gaze, the left hand, and then we do the same to the other side, breathing in, turning to the right. So either staying in this position or turning that right arm, extending the arm over your head, and perhaps lifting this right leg up, flexing the foot, and breathe. And come back to all fours, back into child. You can keep the arms extended forward if you like, and take a breath or two there. Good. And then let's come back onto all fours. And we're going to work with a variation of tiger, a bit more hip leg work. So knees are together, your hands are directly under your shoulders, fingers spread wide. As we breathe in, we're going to draw the left knee in towards the forehead. And as we exhale, we extend the left leg back nice and slowly. Hips are level here. Inhale, knee comes to the shoulder, and exhale down. So we'll do 2 more of these. So left knee comes in, exhale back, knee to shoulder, and down. Left knee in, and back, to the shoulder, and down. So we'll do the same on the other side. So breathe your right knee in towards your forehead. Exhale, take it back. Knee to shoulder and down. So 2 more of these. Right knee comes in. Take it back to the shoulder and down. 1 more. Good. When you finish, you can release your hands, either be in a high kneel, or if you can down low, you might like to shake the hands a little bit. Okay, we're going to go through a flowing, a kneeling salute. It's a little bit stronger than the one we normally do. It starts off with dolphin. I think you all know it. Sorry, I'm just trying to do this top up. I've come undone. All right. So we're going to start off in a kneeling position. Nice tall spine. If it's better for you, you can be here. Okay, and just feel free to watch and follow along. So we're going to breathe in, take the arms up, bring the palms together, and slowly take the hands down through the center and forward, interlacing your fingers. Elbows are shoulder width apart. And then we tuck the toes and we inhale, lift into dolphin. Exhale, lower down. Slide our fingers back along by our heels. And as we breathe in, we lift our hips, looking along the body to protect the neck. Otherwise, you might be able to take the head back. Exhale, lower down. Interlace your fingers. Breathe into the heart. And we come onto the crown of the head. Returning the hands to the back, sitting back down, coming up, fingers alongside your knees. And see if you can lift your knees. So 2 more. Breathe in. Palms together. Breathe out. Interlace your fingers, tuck your toes. Inhale, dolphin. And exhale. Slide your fingers back alongside your toes. Breathe in, lift your hips. And lower, interlace your fingers. Nice breath into the heart. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. And coming onto the crown of the head. Returning the hands to the back, sitting back down. Coming up. Fingers alongside your knees and knees up. Okay, 1 more. Breathe in. Exhale. Interlace your fingers, tuck your toes, lift your hips and lower. Hands back alongside your toes into our beautiful back bend and lower. Interlace your fingers, breathe in and coming onto the crown of the head. Returning the hands to the back, sitting back down. Inhale, come up, fingers alongside your toes and lift the knees. Good. From here, come down into child pose. You might have your arms alongside you or making fists with the hands, resting your forehead on your fists. Let's just take a few breaths here, imagining the breath is flowing up your spine as you inhale. And as you exhale, breath flows back down your spine.
Imagine the breath is that river of energy helping to wash away, helping to cleanse, helping to free up the flow of energy if there are blockages, if there are knots. You might say to yourself a few times, the river of life flows through me with ease. The river of life flows through me with ease. Okay. When you're ready, extend your arms forward, preparing to come up into down face dog pose once again. In your own time, coming up into cat, tuck your toes, down face dog pose. From here, we're going to walk our feet towards our hands. Feet are at least hip width apart. Lift up halfway as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, fold down into Utkatasana. Relax your toes. You might sigh the breath away. And then we're going to come up to stand through Utkatasana, chair pose. So bend the legs, and as you inhale, start to bring the arms up, shoulder width apart, palms are facing each other. We're sitting in our imaginary chair. Let's take a few breaths here. You can always drop the hands down to your thighs if this is better for your shoulders. Keep the breath flowing. Good. And then inhale, standing tall, bring your palms together, and exhale your hands down to your heart. Release your hands, and we're into Tadasana. We're going to do a little bit of bouncing. So feet are hip width, little bend in the legs, and let's start to bounce and shake and perhaps sway, maybe blowing the breath out through the mouth. So wonderful practice for helping energy to flow, freeing up the flow of energy. Think about areas that might be a little bit congested or stagnant, knots, areas of the body that are a bit knotted up, and allow this movement to just release a little bit of the blockage, encouraging energy to flow where perhaps it hasn't for a little while. Let any feeling of heaviness, any worries, anything that's been keeping you small, keeping you tight, let that stuff, emotions, feelings, thoughts, heavy thoughts, drain down through the body to be absorbed into the earth beneath you. Good. And then just start to slow that down. You might take the legs a little wider apart for the stale air remover. So 3 of these, great way to let go. So again, let's breathe in and let it all go as we exhale. 2 more. Breathe in and let it all go. And last one. Good. Hanging forward just for an extra breath or 2. Legs can be bent or straight. And then slowly coming up. Roll the shoulders back. Come back into Tadasana, mountain pose. And we're going to come back to seeing if we can work with our breath ratio 5-2, 5-2 with this simple, gentle arm movement now. So exhale all breath. And then breathing in as we raise the arms above the head, bringing the palms to touch as we pause for 2. And then exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause, empty. Inhaling, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause, 2. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause, empty. Inhaling. Pause, 2. Exhaling. Pause, empty. Now adding an extra movement, have a look. Breathe in up the front of the body. Pause, 2. Turn the palms down as you exhale. Pause, empty. So take the arms out to the side and up overhead. Pause, 2. Exhale, lowering. Pause, empty. Now up the front of the body. Pause, 2. Exhale. Pause, empty. Let's do one more of these. Up the front of the body. And then rest in Tadasana and take a breath. Okay. So with this idea of flow and breath being a bit like water, rivers of energy, we're going to work with our Qigong water cleansing practice. So we imagine that we're standing in a body of water somewhere in a beautiful part of the world. And in a moment, we're going to scoop down. We're going to gather up that beautiful, fresh, clean water, take it above the head, and then let it shower down over us. So we'll do 5 of these. Exhale all breath. And then coming down as you inhale, scooping up this crystal clear, pure water. Keep breathing in as you take it above the head. And as you exhale, let it flow down over your face, your chest. When you get to the abdomen, hands go onto the body, wiping down or washing down the inner thighs to your feet, and then up the backs of the legs, over the buttocks to the lower back. And then we do it again. Breathe in. Exhale, let it wash down over the body, hands to the abdomen, the inner thighs, down to your feet, and up the backs of the legs. Okay, so keep going. Breathe in. And one more. And coming to stand in Tadasana and take a breath or 2. Just observing the effects of the practice, how you're feeling, and allowing a little time to absorb, to process, to integrate what we've just done before rushing on to the next thing. Okay. So we're going to work with a little flowing sequence, again, which I think you all know, combining chair with our standing forward bend, Uttanasana. So I'll turn sideways, a little bit easier to see, feet to hip width. Exhale, all breath. As we breathe in, we're going to raise the arms above the head, shoulder width apart. And as we exhale, we come into our imaginary chair. We breathe in here as we hold chair. And as we breathe out, we tip forward into Uttanasana. Legs can be bent or straight. Let's lift up halfway as we inhale. And exhale, fold down and just stay there for a breath. Bend the legs so we come back through Utkatasana, standing tall, palms together. Exhale. Okay, so let's do 4 more of these. Breathe in, raise the arms. Breathe out, chin to our imaginary chair. Inhale here. Tipping forward into Uttanasana. Lifting up halfway and lower and stay for a breath. Bend your legs into chair, standing tall, palms together. Exhale. Breathing in. Utkatasana. Holding as you breathe in here and tipping forward into our forward fold. Lifting up halfway and exhale, lower and hold here for a breath. Bend your legs into chair, standing tall and exhale. Okay, 2 more. Inhale. Utkatasana. Breathe in and tip forward. Lift up halfway and lower, and we stay here for a breath. Bend the legs into chair, standing tall. Exhale. Okay, last one. Into the forward fold, halfway lift and lower. Stay here for a breath. Bend the legs and exhale. Release your hands and let's take the legs a little wider apart. We're going to work with our Tibetan yoga breath, coming back to that breath ratio, if we can, of 5-2, 5-2. So turning to look down towards your left fingers, exhale all breath. As we breathe in, we're going to watch as we raise the arm up, stretching the right fingers down, pausing 2, breathing out 2, 3, 4, 5, pause, empty, turning to the right, breathing in, pause 2, breathing out. Pause, empty. Let's keep going. Inhale. Pause 2. Exhale. Pause, empty. Breathing in. Pause 2. Breathing out. Pause, empty. Let's do 2 more to each side. And last one to the right. When you finish, come back to center, roll the shoulders back, take a deep breath in and sigh it away. Okay, one more standing pose, another forward fold, legs wide. So outer edges of the feet parallel. You can either slide your hands down the backs of the legs or work with Utkatasana, where we interlace the fingers behind the body and lift the arms up and overhead as we come forward. So let's, whichever one we're working with, look up as we breathe in, open the front of the body, and then we endeavor to keep the front of the body open as we come forward. So come back down with a flat back. We're not collapsing the chest. Arms up and over the head or sliding the hands down the backs of the legs. Legs can be bent or straight. Feel the breath flowing, not holding the breath. Good, and then we'll slowly and carefully come up. Stretching the arms all the way up overhead. And as you exhale, bring the hands down to your heart. Release the hands, release your legs. Might like to walk on the spot a little bit, a bit of a shake. And then we're going to come to lie down on our mats. Feet stepped up close to the buttocks. And just take a moment there to let the earth hold you. Let the earth support you. Sink into that support. Just acknowledging that support. You can let go a little more and just let yourself drop. Let the skin of the face soften. No tension in the mouth. The forehead is soft. The eyeballs sinking back towards the brain, not pressing against the eyelids. Okay, let's work now with a twist, another twist. So you can choose whether you want to have the feet on the mat or feet in the air for a stronger twist. Arms out at shoulder height, or if you like, you can interlace the fingers under the head, taking the elbows wide. All right, checking that your head, neck, and spine are in a straight line, chin tucking forward. So when you're ready, take a deep breath in and lower the knees over to the right side. Head may turn to the left or just stay in a neutral position. Breathe yourself back to center, realign your spine, and then knees flowing over to the left side, head may turn to the right. Inhale, let's keep going. Press the lower back down. Exhale, knees to the right, head may turn to the left. Breathing in to center. And breathing out, knees to the left, head may turn to the right. Inhale, center. Just keep working with this in your own time now, flowing from side to side. Slowing the breath down. You may not be counting the breath now, but the inhale, the exhale are long and slow, and perhaps a little pause for a second or two between the breaths. So finish the one you're on and work with one more to each side. And when you finish, come back to center, bring the knees into the chest, cross your legs at the ankles, a hand on each knee, and let's make some nice slow circles on the floor with our lower back. Good, and cross the legs the other way and circling in the opposite direction. Good, come back to center, uncross your legs, and let's inhale, stretch the legs out along the mat, arms lift up and overhead, stretching from fingertip to toe tip. And as you exhale, lowering your arms down by your side. Let's do 2 more of these. Breathing in. And breathing out. And last one, inhale. Exhale. Okay, so we're going to set ourselves up for relaxation. We've got a bit of a longer guided relaxation tonight. So just gather socks and perhaps blankets, whatever you need to be comfortable to relax. And we'll start off the way we began the practice by tensing the body as tightly as we can and then relaxing the body. We'll do that 3 times and then we'll work with the cannon breath as well. So I'm just going to come up to be closer to you again. So set yourself up in a way that you'll be able to work with these practices before relaxing completely. So when you're ready, you can begin. So tensing the body as tightly as you can as you breathe in, making fists, scrunch up your toes, clench the face, the teeth, the chest, the tummy, the buttocks, the thighs, and then let all of that tension go as you exhale. And just do this a couple more times. So really noticing the difference between a state of tension and stress and a state of relaxation. What it's like to hold tight and what it's like to let go. So when you finish those 3, we'll work with a few cannon breaths. So when you're ready, exhale all breath. And then you start to take little sips of air as you breathe in and pause. Breathe in a little bit more, pause, a little bit more, pause, a little bit more. And then let the breath come rushing out through the mouth. So we'll do this twice more. And once again. When you finish, just allow yourself now to drop down a little deeper, giving in and letting go. I invite you now to imagine that you're lying on a beautiful beach right at the water's edge with your feet pointing out to sea. This might be a beach that you know and love and visit regularly, or perhaps you've only visited once in your lifetime, but you love it. Or it might be a beach in your imagination. It might be a quiet, little, secluded cove, or it might be a huge expanse of beach with lots and lots of golden sand and the roaring ocean. So visualize yourself lying here at the water's edge and begin to feel the warmth of the sun shining down onto your face, your chest, your belly. Feel this warmth gradually spreading over you like a blanket. As you breathe in now, imagine that a long, slow wave approaches you and little bubbles of foam play with your toes. As you exhale, the wave recedes. Inhale, feel the wave gently caress your feet and toes. And as you exhale, it rushes back out to sea. The water is a lovely temperature, and you allow it to dissolve tension, stress, fear, leaving all the muscles in your feet and toes relaxed and comfortable. Now, as you inhale, the wave gently washes over your feet and travels up your legs into your knees, your thighs, your pelvis and hips. As you exhale, the wave recedes and you feel any tension being washed away with the wave. Inhale, feeling the wave wash over your feet and legs up to your hips and pelvis to your belly. Exhale, feeling the wave recede, pulling away with it all tension and stress. Inhaling, the wave moves up into your back muscles. And as you exhale, you feel each bone and muscle and all the vertebrae in your spine relaxing deeper and deeper. Feel the water soothing, relaxing, and nurturing your entire body. And notice how it is also slowing down and dissolving all waves of thought, feeling, and emotion. The waves continue to flow and to gently massage your skin, your muscles, even the flow of blood. Feel wave upon wave of this relaxation pouring over your body, massaging your body and leaving you feeling much more peaceful and calm. The ocean's waves come and go. Watch them until you forget yourself and become one with the waves. I'd like to share another poem with you from Michael McCafferty. It's called Be Like Water. When your path encounters a block, be like water and simply flow around it. Or with patience, rise up over it. Water is persistent and shapes the hardest rock. But the immediate reaction of water is to go around, to treat the block as non-existent, and to continue to seek the endless sea. This is the genius of water. So I invite you now to start to bring your awareness back into your physical space, becoming aware of the floor beneath you, the ceiling above, and the four walls surrounding you. Perhaps noticing sounds around you. Some may be very close and some might be quite far away. And just starting to deepen the breath so you can hear the sound of the inhale, the sound of the exhale. Starting to bring some movement into your fingers and your toes. Slowly waking the body up. Perhaps having a bit of a stretch. Just do what feels good. And then carefully rolling to one side. You might like to ask yourself the question, what's something I've noticed about myself tonight that I hadn't noticed before? What's something that I've noticed about myself that I hadn't noticed before? And then when you feel ready, without rushing, let's come up to sit, and we'll just sit in silence for a minute or so, just focusing on the breath. So sitting with a nice tall spine, shoulders relaxed, skin of the face soft, eyes lightly closed or just with a soft downward glance. And just aware of each breath as it flows in, each breath as it flows out. When the mind wanders, keep drawing the attention back to the breath again and again. And then let's gently blink the eyes open, taking the arms out to the side. Deep breath in, raising the arms up overhead, bringing the palms together. And exhale, bring the hands down to your heart space. Bowing the head down. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you for joining me tonight. Hope you have a beautiful, peaceful rest of the evening. And look forward to seeing you in the flesh soon. Thank you. Thanks, Helen. Lots of love. Bye, Kathy with a C and Kathy with a K. Bye.